Alrighty guys, I'm Casey and welcome to a brand new episode of the Minecraft tutorial series, a series where I'm guiding you through a game called Minecraft. Last episode we looked at the function of both the chest and the furnace, how to upgrade our tools from wood to stone, and how to build our very first starter house, and it's looking good, we're getting there. But in this episode what we're going to deal with is hunger. That's the first thing we're going to deal with. Then we're going to deal with sleeping through the night so we don't get creatures spawning. And the last thing that we are going to deal with is upgrading our starter house, because this is not a very pretty sight. So let's start talking about food in the early game and how we can deal with that, because this leads us into our next topic. So as you can see here, I've got something here called Farmland. And this is what we're going to utilize. So how do you get farmland? Well, farmland is super easy and super simple to get. Let me show you how. If we go into our crafting table, we're going to need to craft a new tool called the hoe. And we can see the hoe here. We can craft this out of oak planks, or we've got the cobblestone now, so we can do it straight out of cobblestone. And one quick thing before I continue, I did go ahead and do the task that I set for you guys, and this is going to come in handy later on when we work on upgrading our house. All we need to do to make farmland with the hoe is right click either dirt or grass. So if we just mine a piece of this so I can show you, this is dirt, this is grass, and each one can be mined. We use the right click, not the left click. The left click will mine the block. Now there's two different types of farmland. There's this type of farmland, which is the unsaturated or the unhydrated farmland, and if we have this farmland it will slowly turn back to dirt. However, if we have this farmland, which is the darker tone, it will not. And to get this farmland, all you need to do is create this farmland within 4 blocks of a water block. So we've got water here, so 1, 2, 3, 4. All of these 4 will become hydrated because we are within 4 blocks. But if we look, we can also do that diagonally. So 1, 2. So this one will become, because we have 4 blocks diagonally, 4 there. So yes, it goes diagonal and it goes vertically and horizontal on every axis. Now, there's no benefit in terms of speed when it comes to hoeing land. We're always going to hoe it at the same speed regardless of what kind of hoe we have, whether we have the wooden or the stone hoe or one of the later ones in the later game. So if you are playing in 1.16 or the Nether update, hoes have another use, and they are the correct tool for mining leaves. Now, in 1.16, the hoe is going to gain some new features, and I will cover that in a later episode. But for right now, we're going to stick with the 1.15 features, which is the version we are playing in. Although this tutorial will go into 1.16, right now we're starting in 1.15, and that is simply creating farmland. And with farmland, we can grow all kinds of crops, and Minecraft has a variety of different crops in it. But right now, the only one that's available to us is wheat. Now, you can get potatoes and carrots as well, but we're only going to worry about wheat because, like I said, potatoes and carrots are a little bit later on in the game. So, how do we grow this? This is wheat. How do we grow this? Well, first of all, we need to obtain something called seeds or wheat seeds. And wheat seeds are super easy to get. All we need to do is look around our world for grass like this. Not the block grass, but the actual structure itself, the plant, the greenery, and just mine it. That one didn't drop it. Now, there is a chance when you mine one of these that leaves will drop, and it looks like it's being a little bit stubborn with us. There we go. We got a leaf. We got some seeds. I think I said leaves in that clip. Seeds. We'll get seeds from grass, and we can go ahead and just keep mining these until we get them, and we'll eventually get them. But this is a bit of a slow way to get it, but sadly it's the only way for us to get it right now. Now, when we've got seeds, we can look at farmland, and we can look at hydrated or unhydrated farmland. Looks like this is within 4 blocks of some water because it's going to got itself hydrated. But you could plant this anywhere on these, and we just right click to place it down. It's super easy and super simple, and this over time is going to grow into this. So all you do to mine wheat is left click and it'll pop off like so. And then when we get the wheat, we also get more seeds. Now, there's nothing that we can do with just one piece of wheat. We actually need 3. And our little garden is just starting to grow. So when we mine these, we will get more seeds back from them. You can get between 1 and 3 seeds, I believe. And so we can build this up from there. Or we can go ahead and just mine a bunch of grass. But I want to lead into the second objective of today's, and that's to sleep through the night. Because right now we are not sleeping through the night, and you may have found that it started to rain in your world, or that you've got mobs swamping you from the sky, and we want to stop that from happening. But the reason that I wanted to do this first is so we could see this grow. But when we look into other ways to eat as well, it leads into the bed as well. So to sleep through the night, we need to craft ourselves something called a bed. And if we were to look in here and search, we don't actually have the bed available to us yet. And that's because we're missing some of the resources that we need. We need a resource called wool. And there are two ways to get wool. And we are only going to focus on one way to get wool right now, and that is by slaying sheep. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to look around our world for some sheep. Now, we want to make sure that we don't lose our house. So we can use the F3 button to go ahead and track our coordinates. And if we look, we can see that our coordinates for our house are -257, 63, and -263. So the Z1 is north to south, the X1 is east to west, and the Y1 is vertically. So if by using this and just keeping a note of our coordinates, we can come back here and not travel too far, because we don't want to travel too far from our house. So while we're on adventures, we can go ahead and mine some grass and see if we can find ourselves some mobs. Now, we're only looking for 3 types of mobs while we're out and about. We are looking for cows, we are looking for pigs, and we are looking for sheep. So the first mob that I have stumbled across is the pig. And usually mobs will travel in small packs. You can see that we've got 3 here. So we go ahead and we can kill this with using the sword. Just simply slash at it and we get drops from it. Now, there's only one drop the pig offers, and that is this raw pork chop. They don't offer any other drops, pigs. They are one of the least farmed mobs in Minecraft because they only offer food, whereas all the other mobs that do offer food also offer additional drops. So we're just going to go ahead and we're going to slay these pigs, and then we're going to immediately head and turn and head back home. The reason being, our hunger bars are quite low, and I want to show you how we can increase them really quickly, just so we can come out on our adventures and look for some sheep. Now with the sun setting, we are back home and we are going to look at the raw pork chop. And this is the same for any meat that you get from slaying animals. You can eat this outright, but that's not a good idea. You eat by holding the right click down with the food in your hand, but don't eat raw meat because it's not as efficient as eating the cooked meat. And since we've got ourselves a furnace now, we could just go ahead and put the pork chops in there and get ourselves a cooked pork chop. And this is going to be more nutritious for us. This is going to revive more ham bars, and this is going to provide us overall with a better source of food. Now, you may notice when dealing with hunger that your health bars have gone low. You've probably taken fall damage, you may have been hit by a couple of mobs, and your health is low. And you may be wondering, okay, how do I replenish my health? Well, that ties into hunger. Once your hunger bars are full, your health will start to regenerate like so. So it's vital to keep your hunger bars up. As you can see, that regenerated all of our health bars, and our hunger is now full. So we could just leave these to go ahead and cook up. So if you look back to the first episode, we remember seeing these creatures. These are called cows, and these have a few uses, but we're only going to use 2 of their uses here. And if we were to kill these, we have a chance of getting 2 different drops for them. Now, they will always drop raw beef, but there is a chance that they will drop leather as well. Now, the leather cannot be used as a food source, but it will be useful a little bit later on in the game. Now, they don't always drop leather, but there is a chance that they will. Now, if like me, you are in a taiga biome, and if we were to press the F3 button, you can see the biome located over here, where it says Minecraft Taiga. If we were in a taiga biome, there is a chance that you may come across these things. And these are a food source as well. We can right click these to get ourselves some sweet berries and eat them too. We can also right click them to get the sweet berries and then right click to plant the sweet berries down. Now if we were to mine this block, it's not going to drop anything. So it might be useful just to pick a few of these up just to help out in the early game if you see them. They're just a little good food source. They're not a viable one long term, but they are good in the early game. Once your ham bars down here deplete to 3 or below, you will no longer be able to sprint. You will lose that function. We've got a few more pigs here. I'm just going to slay these. But we do have a few additional mobs over here. And there's one that I haven't talked about yet. Oh, there's lots of pigs over there. There's also this mob. This is a chicken. And this is usually a very good source food in the early game. But we don't want to kill these. These have a passive drop that they will just drop generally. And that is an egg. They will drop eggs as they just roam around your world. And that's kind of what we want to get to them, so we can create ourselves something called a chicken cooker, which will automatically cook chickens for us. But that's a little bit later. We want to worry about sheep, and these are sheep here. And sheep, when killed, they will drop wool. Now, we can get more than just one wool from these sheep by using a tool called the shears, but we don't have access to that yet. So we're just going to use these sheep to slay to get enough wool for a bed. And I'm only going to kill 3 sheep. I only need 3 wool for a bed, and it has to be the same color. Now, you can dye your wool, and we'll look at that so you can get different colored beds later. But right now, we're just going to worry about a generic single bed. So we're on the home straight here. We are almost back home. Our wheat has grown, which is fantastic. Now, as I said, we can't use wheat to actually eat food, but we can craft food by using wheat. So we're going to wait until at least 3 of these have grown before I show you that bit. But for right now, let's go ahead and focus on the bed. So the bed is super simple and super easy to craft. Once we've got our 3 wool, all we're going to need is some planks, and any planks will work. We can use oak planks, we can use birch planks. They ain't going to change what the bed looks like. Now, you may not have come across white sheep. You may have come across black sheep and any color in between. You usually get light gray, dark gray, and even on a rare occasion you can find a pink sheep. Now, we could dye sheep any color that we choose to that's in the game. There's 16 different colors to choose from, but for right now we're just going to worry about the colors that are available to you, and you more than likely will have white wool. So this is how you craft a bed. It's 3 planks across the bottom and 3 wool blocks across the middle. We can also put these 3 wool blocks across the top and move these oak planks up 1 to craft it here. Now, we need to be in the crafting table, not the crafting window. The 3x3 is how we do this. And then we just simply pull the bed out, and we right click to place the bed as we do any other block within Minecraft. Now, the bed has 2 functions. Well, actually it has 3 functions, but one of them is just a little bit of fun. So let's look at them. But another function of the bed, if we were to right click this at any point in the game, it's going to come up in the chat, respawn point set. What that means is, as long as this bed exists in this world and we haven't slept in a different bed, if we were to die, we would respawn back at this bed. Now, the other function of the bed, the little trivia one, is you can bounce on a bed. Just jump on a bed using the space button and you'll just bounce. It's just one of those amusing things that you have. Now, if we were to right click this during a thunderstorm or during the night, we would then enter the bed and sleep through the night. The second thing that it will do is reset our rain counter. So Minecraft decides it's going to rain based on a timer. Once that timer expires, at midnight the rain will start, and it will last until the following midnight. However, if we were to sleep through the night, we would reset that rain counter and prevent it from raining. As well, if we were out and it started to rain during the night, because it will not start raining during the day. If it starts to rain during the night, and we've just gone, oh great, we need to, it's raining, we haven't reset the counter. If we were to sleep at night while it is raining, it will reset that counter and stop the rain. Rain is one of the most annoying things within Minecraft. It drives you crazy, and I would strongly advise going into options, going into music and sounds, and just turning the weather off, because it is insanely loud, and that'll just make it a little bit easier for you. So I'm just going to cook up these raw pork chops so we've got a source of food. I'm going to keep these sweet berry bushes. I like to use them as a decorative block as well. I'm going to put away all of my other stuff, and I'm going to go here and I'm going to grab out all of those blocks that I mined between episodes, and then we're going to sleep through the night. We're going to look at how to improve our starter house. So the sun is going to bed. It's starting to descend, and soon we will be able to sleep. Not quite yet. We've got to wait for it to go down. And this, if we sleep quick enough, this will prevent mobs from even beginning to spawn around us, because the light level won't be low enough. There we go. We can jump into it. We got ourselves the advancement Sweet Dreams, which is awesome. And now the morning is here. So now that it's morning, let's look at a couple of blocks you may have encountered while out and about on your adventures that I haven't covered yet. I'm just going to craft myself a torch real quickly, and we can look at what their function is. And you can see that we've got a couple of blocks around here. We've also got some mob sounds, so I'm just going to go in here and I'm going to turn hostile creatures down some so they're not deafening. But let's have a little look at a couple of these. So you may have come across this white block here. This is another variant of stone, and this can be mined with a pickaxe. Any pickaxe will mine this, including the wooden one, and this is called diorite. And we can put 4 diorite in the crafting grid to make ourselves some polished diorite, which is just a polished variant of the diorite. As you can see, it looks like that. And again, this can be mined with the exact same tool. The next block that we can look at is this one here. This is granite, and this is just like the diorite, only it's just a different texture. We can go ahead and we can craft ourselves the polished variant, or we can keep the regular variant as well. And there is another one that looks very similar to stone, but I haven't managed to come across it yet, called andesite. So andesite is evading me at the minute, but it is very similar to this. It's just a more grey texture. It looks very similar to stone, only with this sort of texture, so I've broken up rubble texture. And the last block that I want to show you for now is this. This is called coal, and this is very similar to charcoal. We just mine this using any pickaxe in the game. Will mine this, so you can use your wooden one or you can use your stone one, and this will drop a couple of things. Let's have a little look at this. So this will drop that little green orb. That is experience. That goes to our level. If we were to look down at the bottom where our hotbar is, right in the center, right above our hoe, it says number 5. That is our level. We are level 5. And the little bar below that, the one that goes all the way across with that little bit of green on it, well, that is our experience to the next level. If we were to mine some coal, you can see that our experience bar is going to tick up. So that's absolutely fantastic for later on in the game. We're not going to worry too much about our level right now, but we are going to hope and try to get to level 30 as soon as possible. That's a magical level in Minecraft, but we're not going to worry too much about that for now. We'll get there later on. But that's coal, and coal has the exact same use as charcoal. There is only one small minor difference between the two, besides the texture, and that is that coal can be crafted into coal blocks. By just filling every slot in the crafting grid, we can make ourselves a block of coal. And it looks like our wheat field is done. We now have 3 wheat, and by using 3 wheat, we can craft ourselves something to munch on. We can go ahead and just put these in the crafting grid like so, in a straight line, and that will make us bread, and we can eat this bread. Now this takes a while to grow, and it's really not advisable. We'll be using wheat much later on for different things. We'll be using it when it comes to farming animals. But for right now, we know how to deal with hunger. That's one way. We've looked at ways to deal with hunger using mobs. And the last thing that I want to look at is advancing our home a little bit. Because right now, our home looks a little bit like crap. And the first thing we're going to want to do is find ourselves a block called sand. So this is sand. It's like a yellowy cream texture, and we're just going to get ourselves at least 6 pieces of this. We need at least 6 for what I want to do. And then back to our house. So the first thing that I think I want to do is I'd like to add in a couple of windows. And I don't like that. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that back, and I'm going to move the door. A lot of people put their door dead center. I like to put my door off to the side a little bit. It just makes it stand out a little bit different. It just makes the house a little bit, you know, not following in everybody else's footsteps. So there we go. We've got this off to the side. And I think the next thing that I want to do is add a window to my hut here. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to pop this out. Now, to add windows, there's a couple of things that we can do. We can add either full blocks of glass or window panes. So let's have a little look at those. So I'm going to take my glass and I'm going to smelt my glass up. And this is how, I'm going to take my sand and smelt my sand up to make glass. Now, for the purpose of this tutorial, I'm actually going to get another 6 sand so that I can show you the difference between blocks and panes. So now that our glass has smelted up, we go ahead and pull that out of the furnace, and we can do a couple of things with this. The first thing we can do is we can place this glass block down like so. And you may think that's cool, that's a good window, but there's also another feature of glass. If we were to go to the crafting table, we can just, by doing 2 horizontal lines, like so, we can make ourselves something called glass panes. And if we put these down, these have a little bit of a lip. These go in the center of the block as opposed to the full block. And it just adds that little bit of depth, which makes your build stand out a little bit more. Now, one thing to note is we cannot get glass back once we've done it. So if we were to mine any glass, it would instantly break and we would lose that block. So be careful when you place glass. Later on in the game, there is a way to get glass back. But for right now, that's not available to us. So we're just going to go ahead and place these down. Now, there are additional things that we can do to improve our build. Because right now, we still have this blocky structure. Now, we can add a roof, but I'm going to do that in its own episode. But what we're going to look at now is just looking at the corners of our build. By changing the corners of our build, we can make our build look a lot different. So I'm just going to take out the corners of our build like so. And I'm going to replace them with a different block. Now, early on in Minecraft, when you're playing around with Minecraft for the first time, you know, one of the good ways to start out is by using logs. It's what I used to use. But we could also use other features later on. But if we were just to bring this log up like so, and then do the exact same on this side like so, you can see already that is starting to look a much better. Now, there are a couple of other blocks that we can utilize to make our home look better than it already does. And that is called slabs and stairs. So if we were to go to our crafting table, let's look at stairs. Stairs are made from almost any block in the game. Not all blocks have stair variants, but most do. So we go ahead with our cobblestone and make cobblestone stairs. We could also go ahead and take our planks and make ourselves planks stairs like so. And the stair recipe is super easy. It's just one in either the left or the right hand slot at the top like so. So we can put them in any of those two slots. It doesn't make a difference. Then we fill up 2 slots below it. These ones do matter. We can't put them like that. We have to put them there. Or we can move them over like so, as long as it looks like a staircase. And then we fill the 3 bottom rows with it. And again, this just mirrors the way that everything looks like what you're crafting. This looks like a staircase. And we get ourselves some more stairs. Now, like I said, not every block has stairs. And one block that doesn't have stairs are the bark blocks, the logs in Minecraft. So if we were to take these stairs... Oh, it's night. Let's use our bed. Sleep through the night. Be done with that. So if we were to take our stairs, we could go ahead and just take out these 2 bottom ones. This is something that I like to do. Grab ourselves a stair and pop a staircase down like so. And that just adds to this and sets it apart and just adds some extra detail. Now we got a bit of cobblestone in our build and it doesn't look as bland and as boring as it did. But we could also do a couple more things with this. We can go ahead and add something called slabs. And slabs are made from almost any block. Again, if you can make stairs from the block, then you can make slabs from the block. And it is just a horizontal line straight across. So we go ahead and we could take these and we could do stuff with these. For example, we could put a little awning there. We could put maybe an awning like that. You know, and again, we use the exact same tool to mine these as what we do to mine its father block. So if it's cobblestone, we use a pickaxe. If it's wood, we use an axe. Very simple, very easy. We could put a stair down into orientations. We could put it down like that, which is the regular way, or we could put it down upside down. This is called an upside down stair. You may also refer to slabs as half slabs. I don't know why people say half slabs. It's just a slab, but you may do that. And to do this is easy. We can place these on either upside down or regular by just where we look on the block. If we look at the bottom of the block, it's going to place it down regular. If we look at the top half of a block, we are going to place it down upside down. And the same goes with slabs. Slabs can be placed on the bottom half of a block or the top half of a block. And depending on where you look, we'll place it on that part of the block. We can't go and plant a cobblestone slab next to a oak slab if they were to inhabit the same block. So this is one block here. If I was to place this here, it's not going to let me place another oak slab on top of it. Sorry, it's not going to let me place another cobblestone slab on top of it. It's only going to let me place oak there. However, if we were to have these inhabit 2 separate blocks, so if we were to look at this, we got 2 blocks here. If I put the oak one on the top half of the bottom block, and put the cobblestone on the bottom half of the top block, it will let them go together. So that's something that you could play around with if you want. But one final thing that we're going to look at to help improve our build is something called fence posts. And we're going to get into that in just a second. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep this awning like so. I'm going to go ahead and take the stair and I'm going to place it upside down. So I get some sort of like gantry like that, like a little archway there. That's what I want. And I'm going to go ahead and just do the exact same here. I'm running out of stairs. So I'm going to go ahead and craft myself another stair. I should have. I must have lost a stair because you get 4 stairs and I'm missing one. Must have lost one somewhere. Oh no, it's fallen on the inside. I knew I had one. So I'm just going to do that for the time being. That's going to be our window. But we're going to look at ways that we can improve this by creating something called fences. And fences are made from wood. Any wood will do. Different wood makes different fences. And if we were to look over here, fences are again easy. We need some sticks, so I'm going to craft up some sticks. And to make a fence, all we do is we take 2 planks on the left hand side, 2 planks on the right hand side, both on top of one another in a vertical line, and then 2 sticks in the middle. You can see the recipe on screen here. And that's going to get us some fence gates, some fence posts. Now there are fence gates and fence posts, but we're only going to look at fence posts in this episode, and we can get ourselves those. I'm going to get myself 6. I'm going to come out here and I'm just going to place them like that. And that makes me happy. That's a nice little home. It's a nice little hut. So, that's the way that you can improve your starter house. So this looks much better than what we had prior to it, which was this. So, what are the tasks between this episode and the next episode? Well, I want you to go ahead and fill out all 4 sides of your home. Just the outside. We're not going to worry too much about the interior yet, but we are going to worry about the outside. I want you to go ahead and fill out the exterior. Don't build anything on top of this because we're going to be adding a roof into this, and we're going to look at roofs in the next episode. Because now we know how to craft slabs, now we know how to craft stairs. We're going to look at those in the next episode. And while we're doing that, we're also going to keep growing our wheat fields. We want to keep these lush and get as many going as we can. This is something that's going to be vitally important in the near future because we are going to need a bunch of wheat. So keep on growing this. Pick a section. Keep on growing your wheat. Make sure that wheat is growing. It's super important to have this growing. And hopefully fill out your fields. So guys, that is going to call it for this episode. So if you've enjoyed the video, please do consider leaving a like. It really helps that channel. I really do appreciate it. So please do leave that like. And if you want to see more of this series, click subscribe. Next episode, we're going to look at how to do roofs. We're also going to probably get into breeding. I'm not 100% certain on that one. That may be the episode after. But guys, thank you so much for checking out the video. I really do appreciate it. I'm Casey, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.